Ben's romantic side showed itself early on in wooing his sweetheart Claire Parker by getting his mum to bake some nice heart-shaped cookies for her. Let's see how it went.
I never see how Ben got this bloody got fish on, and they got right across the side, and then and just like others got the net around down the side, and that went poof. I just slid off the hook. You know.
Was that because he wasn't a very good fisherman then?
Well, I don't know. Nobody could beat Ross. Nobody could beat Ross. Like I say, Ben tried hard to compete with him, but he couldn't beat him. Oh, wait a minute. Ben got... Now, we was under the other bridge up the far end there, and Ben got some bloody beautiful fish out there with a net. Bloody big ones they were, and that... We put them in Strange Horse Pit, we did.
Oh, yeah.
He just weren't very good with a rod.
He better with a net than he were the rod. But he got some real good ones on that bridge up there, he did. Yeah. Like I say, but they just couldn't beat Ross. But like I say, he got that big one on, but he couldn't get the bugger even.
That was his handle, was it?
Oh, I don't know, old Chunt said it were, but I don't know what it were. I got old Chunt said, gosh, so that was his lander, he said. I don't know what it was, gone.
So, it was a distressing night back in summer 2008, where I saw the horrific side of Ben Fuller come out the violent side, actually. Something happened to Ben that night and he just turned. It just went from bad to worse. Pipe and Ben carried on for a bit, but Ben was obviously just itching for a fight or to commit some kind of crime. Being the high-rolling telephone line manager or something like phone systems manager or something that Ben is, all he had in his pocket was pound coins. So I was throwing these pound coins up at Pike's window, nothing happening. So then again, it must have been the mood he was in that night. Something was wrong. This just proves it. He put his fist through the front door window. Let himself in. Must have then went up to bed. What the hell's happened here? Like, looked out. The front door was smashed, hanging open still. Thought, what have we been broken into or what? And had the neighbours, Brian and Sheila, come round from next door, elderly. You know, heart's not really up to that kind of fright on a Friday night, so they'd been put through the mill, and you know they're full awake son, mess of all over his knuckles, blood all over his hands. Oblivious to what's happened, but apparently yeah, he put his fist through the window and broken in when he couldn't get in. Just went crazy, put his fist through the window and let himself in. Put us through hell. Put Brian and Shirley through hell. They've not been the same since.
Caught red-handed.
Caught red-handed. Caught red-handed. Breaking and entering. Ben Fuller.
Ben Fuller lived across the road, do you?
Yeah, of course we do. Yeah, I remember Ben. Yeah, you know Ben who had like a camping sleepover when he was little with his mates, and we had the girls over here for a sleepover. And there was a lot of noise quite late at night, and the girls sneaked over in their pajamas, and Ben and his mates were running around the garden naked. That Ben.
That'd be
Ben.
Well, is that the same Ben who we took for a walk to Bath there, and he said, oh yeah, my dad used to swim in there when he was young.
Hello, Jason.
Good evening, John.
How are you?
you remember Ben Fuller that used to live at 69 The Butts?
Do I remember him, the little sod who used to keep kicking the football against my windows?
Little bugger.
Little bugger, yeah.
Well, thanks very much, John, and we'll speak to you soon.
Okay.
He's been arrested for drunk and disorderly. Anything you'd like to add to the evidence?
Well, yeah, it was my birthday a couple of years ago, and just a few quiet beers, going from Cambridge, a bit of punting, and Ben, as usual, went a bit wild and went to Lolo, started ordering vodka and all sorts of stuff, and went to get a taxi man, I just couldn't find him, and then Mark, I think you sort of found him, didn't you?
No, it was terrible. I ended up bumping into a police officer because I was so worried about him. He kept phoning me, telling me he was at the cathedral in Cambridge. Don't know where that is. And then he ended up in Pizza Hut. I went there with the police officer and he told her to go away. And I think my wife and Lisa went to pick him up. And there was a funny smell in the car. Don't know what that was, but there was a lot of sick.
What was the funny smell? What do you think happened there?
Not really sure, to be honest. It was definitely coming from Ben, though, if I'm honest with you.
Not his anus, or
Who knows? Who knows?
He didn't try and get naked during that taxi ride, in that cab ride, did he?
When you say naked, do you mean fully naked, or do you mean start trying to unbutton his trousers? Because that's a
yeah,
given with Ben.
yeah. He does have a tendency to try and take all his clothes off when he's going to be having a poo. So was there any sign of that during that journey?